Guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be making a egg frittata. I've shared this on my channel before, but I feel like it's really hard to find because it's at the very end of a vlog. So I'm sharing it again, and we've updated it with just a few more things. Actually, I think just I'm using lawry salt instead of regular salt this time, and we're adding in pumpkin seeds. Ideally, you want to make this with pine nuts, but we don't have any, so we're using pumpkin seeds. So I have baby spinach, lawry salt, pepper, Mrs. Dash original. That's why I'm using lawry salt because it's salt-free. The salsa, feta cheese, eggs, got coconut oil that we're going to use instead of like a Pam spray or like a little bit of oil. We're going to use coconut oil. It tastes really, really good with this recipe. And then just like a medium-sized pan. All right, so we went ahead and heated up our pan to high. I like to heat my pan up just so it gets it heated quicker, and then I'll go ahead and turn it down. We're going to take about a spoonful of coconut oil. Let that melt a bit. And then we've already whisked together 3 eggs. And I do know that can be a lot for some people, but for me, this is going to replace lunch and dinner because I didn't eat lunch. So we're going to do 3, but again, you can do even just like 1 or 2 eggs for this recipe. All right, so now that we have the coconut oil up to heat, I turned the oven down to about a medium-high heat, and then we're using the Mrs. Dash. Now I'm going to go ahead and coat the bottom of this pan, and it looks like a lot of seasoning. I get that, but it's salt-free, and it gives you just such a kick of flavor. And at the end, you'll see why I put it at the bottom like this when we flip over the frittata. So you're going to let that heat up a bit. You're going to let the seasoning kind of bloom in the coconut oil, and it's going to release a lot of those flavors from the seasoning. Alright, so I swirled it around a bit, again letting it bloom for a little while, releasing those flavors into the coconut oil, and we're going to go ahead and pour in our 3 eggs. And if you see, it kind of goes right on top of that seasoning, and again at the end you'll see why it's on the bottom. It gives it this really nice effect once you flip the eggs over. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put in some salsa. You can use any kind of salsa you want. I'm just using medium heat. You could do more or you could do less, it's just up to you. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and sprinkle in our pumpkin seeds. So with these pumpkin seeds, this is what we had on hand. We would normally use pine nuts, but our Walmart is sold out. All right, now next up we're going to be using some baby spinach. And now that the bottom of the egg is starting to really cook, I'm turning it down to medium so that it's kind of a low and slow cook. We let the spinach wilt down and let it heat through because we won't actually be flipping this omelet. We're going to just let it kind of cook, and we'll put a lid on it and let it steam for maybe 2 minutes off heat before serving. So now we're going to add in our feta cheese. Again, just any kind of feta cheese you want. You can even use the brick and cut it into like little squares, or you can just use the already crumbled feta. I find that to be a little bit easier. Alright, so now I've just rough chopped some onion, some red onion. You can use white, or you can even use like a yellow onion if you want a little bit sweeter onion, but I'm going to use red. I just think it gives like a better flavor, a little more pungent. Alright, and then last but not least, we're going to add in our lawry salt and our ground pepper. Because that seasoning we used at the bottom was unsalted, that's why we're adding in just a little bit of lawry salt. It just needs a little bit extra, and you're also getting a little bit of salt from the feta cheese, so you want to be mindful how much you're adding in. And then again, just like a pinch, maybe a pinch or 2 of pepper. Alright, so we put the lid on and we let this steam for about 2 or 3 minutes just to cook the inside and top part of the egg. And this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to put it back on the burner that it was on. It is now off, but I'm just kind of letting it reheat again on the residual heat, and I'm going to start to flip it. Alright, so now that you have your spatula to flip it, I'm just using like a little curved spatula. any kind of tool to flip it over in half is going to work. You're just going to want to make sure that it's lifted off the pan. So kind of just go around and make sure it's lifted and that it's not sticking. So you get your spatula underneath the egg towards the middle of the bottom of it. And then you're going to want to tilt your pan the opposite way you're flipping it. And what that's going to do is help give you a little bit more control, and you'll see what I mean. So once we start to flip, you're going to bring the pan up and meet, and you're going to want to meet the egg with the pan. And we had a little bit of a tear, but that's okay. And then we're going to bring it over to the plate, and then kind of wiggle it to the bottom of the pan. And then I'm going to tip it over. All right, guys, so again, we have a little tear. It's not perfect, but it's super tasty. This is our egg frittata. I hope you guys recreate this recipe at home. If you guys do, make sure to tag me below, write in the comments. Let me know what you guys did different. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. Enjoy your egg frittata.